This video is going to be from page 291 in your workbook in the practice section. We're going to be doing number 11 and 12 together. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is reading the directions. It says to write an equation of the line that passes through each pair of points. This means that the goal is your final answer is going to look like y equals some number times x and then plus or minus b. So we're looking for m and we are looking for b. Right now we don't have either one, so we have to solve for both of them. The easiest thing to do in this situation is to solve for your slope first. So on number 11 here, the points that are given are 0, -4, and then 5, -4. What you want to do before you do anything is identify what your first point is going to be and your second point is going to be. It doesn't matter which one is which, but I'm going to go ahead and label x1, y1, x2, y2. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the series of steps. There's only 3 steps to solve this from start to finish. You're going to first solve for slope, then solve for b, and then finally put it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and do each step, and I'm going to label them. And again, it's the same 3 steps every single time you do the problem. The only thing that ever changes are the numbers. So step number 1 is solve for m, solve for your slope. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have -4 minus -4 over 5 minus 0, so this turns to plus plus. -4 plus 4 is 0, 5 minus 0 is 5, and this simplifies to 0, so our slope is 0. Then the next step you are going to do is you are going to solve for b. How do you do that? Well, you have an x, you have a y, and now you have an m. Take those 3 variables and plug it into the slope-intercept form and solve for b. So step 2 here is plug in the values. So I'm going to pick a point. What I will tell you, it doesn't matter, but what you want to do is look for whichever one looks easier. Typically something with smaller numbers or 0 looks the easiest. So I'm actually going to pick this first point right here, and I'm going to use that to plug in. My y value that is selected in that point is -4. That goes there. My slope is 0, and I'm going to multiply it with x, which in this point is 0. And I don't know what plus b is, so I put plus b. 0 times 0 is 0, so they cancel out, and I'm left with -4 equals b. My goal is to get b isolated and alone on one side of the equation, and I just did that. B is -4. The last step is I'm going to put this all together, and I am going to go ahead and have my final answer in slope-intercept form. That means I'm going to have a y here, and then I can put my slope of 0x, but we talked about this before, that you don't need that, so I'm actually going to eliminate that, and I'm going to just be left with what b is, -4. So the answer to this is y equals -4. All right, let's go ahead and do the next one. The next question we're going to do in the practice problem is number 12. So over here in number 12, the points for number 12 was -4, -2 for the first point, and 0 for the second point. I'm going to make this x1, y1, x2, y2. And again, guys, the steps are exactly the same. Step 1, find your slope. So 0 minus a -2 over 4 minus a -4. Plus, plus, keep change, 0 plus 2 is 2. Keep change, 4 plus 4 is 8. This reduces to a fraction of 1 over 4. That's step 1. Step 2 never changes. Step 2, pick a point. It does not matter which point. I see a beautiful 0, so I'm going to look right here. That's going to be my x, my y, and this is going to be my m. So step 2 is time to plug in. So I'm going to have my y value of 0 equals 1/4 for my slope times my x value of 4 plus b. Now, I like this point right here because this actually simplifies. This cross reduces. 1/4, the fourth is 1. 4 goes into 4 one time, so that goes away. We're left with 1. And so I have 1 plus b. How do I get rid of a positive 1? Minus 1, minus 1. Please be careful. 0 minus 1 is not 1. It is -1. So -1 equals b. And then last step here, step number 3. Step number 3 is put it all together. So y equals, what was my slope? 1/4 x. And then what is my b? Minus b.